Want to know how to use your intuition to connect to your angels and spirit guides while using oracle cards? This is something I do every single day, both for myself and while I give readings for other people. So check out this video if you want to learn how to do it. Intuition is really a huge beast that I can't really tackle all in one video, but what I am going to do is give you everything that you need to know to use your intuition to connect to your angels and spirit guides while using oracle cards. So the first thing you're going to do, step number one, is to ground yourself. Now, what does this mean? It means to feel centered. What I recommend is starting by putting your feet flat on the floor because this will connect you to the earth's energy. From there, you don't need to sit, super straight, super tall. Be comfortable, close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, try and slow down your mind, focus on your breathing, almost like you're trying to get into a deep meditation. Once you feel that you're grounded, then it's time to initiate conversation. Invite your angels and guides into your session, I'll say. This is where you invite your angels and spirit guides because it's important to remember that you have free will. They are here to guide and help you in any way that they can, but they cannot interfere. So you have to ask them for help when you want it. Now, you might feel a little goofy if this is the first time or first few times that you've done it. Don't worry. Eventually, it's going to start to feel like you're just calling your mom on the phone, like, oh, hey, mom, how's it going? Just don't focus too much on saying the right thing or, using the right words. It doesn't matter. It's not important. It's about your intention. Once you have grounded yourself and you've initiated conversation and invited your angels and spirit guides, then it's time for the next step. Step number 3 is pulling your cards. Now that you're thinking about your question, ask your question. You can ask it out loud or in your head and shuffle your cards. Think about your question while you're shuffling. Try to make sure that's the only thing that you're thinking about because your angels and guides and the universe is picking up on your energy. So try to focus all your energy, if you can, on the one specific question so that they can help you answer it. It's also important to know not to ask your question that ends in a yes or no answer. It has to be a little bit open-ended so that they can allow the right card to come to you and tell a story, and you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit sometimes. So unfortunately, it's not as easy as yes or no. This isn't a magic 8-ball where it has yes, no, maybe, or try again later. You want answers to your questions and you want it now, so it's important to word them properly. Do not ask yes or no questions. It's just, you're not going to find the answers helpful, and you're not going to know if this card is actually saying yes or no. So you've shuffled, you've asked your question, you focused on the question, now it's time to pull a card. You can pull a card however you like. After you've shuffled, you can pull the one on top. You can spread them out and just pull whichever one is calling to you. You can split the deck, let's say 2 or 3 times, and then whichever one is drawn to you, pull that one. Doesn't matter, there are no rules. Pick whichever one you're feeling called to. It's important to know that if a card comes flying out, I don't know if you saw earlier when I was shuffling, a card came flying out, that means that there is a message that they really need you to know and they need you to know it now. It's almost like they're shouting out at you, you need to know this. You can, of course, pull more cards after that one has come flying out if you feel like it. If that answered your question and you feel like you're good, then that's fine. Once you've pulled your card, look at the card. This is why it's important. If you saw my last video where I told you, oh, it's upside down, or I told you that you had to, or I recommended that you picked a card with imagery that you were really drawn to and preferably with at least one word at the bottom. This is because if you're just starting out, you're going to want to try and get as much help as you can before you go to the book. The reason for that is because you're trying to strengthen your intuition, and intuition can come in so many different forms, and everyone has it. Kind of like everything else in life, some people are stronger in some things than in others. So, for example, my intuition, I feel it in my body, in my gut, but I can also hear the messages. Where you might not hear it, but you might smell, or you might just almost like see a movie in your head with the answer to the question. So that's why it's really important to be drawn to your cards, because if you're just looking at it and you're like, I don't know, then you're automatically going to go to the book and read the description, and you're not really, it's not that you're not going to get the message, but sometimes they have more to say than what is actually written in the book. So once you've pulled your card, look at the image, look at the word, what is it telling you? And this could be, you could be hearing this, like I said, or you could be seeing it, you could be feeling it. It's important to continue to strengthen your intuition so that you can understand what you're feeling and why you're feeling it. Oracle cards are a really great tool to connect with your angels and guides and to really get you started on that path, that process of strengthening your intuition and developing your abilities. Even if you don't plan on, becoming a psychic and doing readings for others, I feel like intuition is like the base of everything. When you meet someone, you're gonna know immediately, I like you, I don't like you, or maybe you seem like you're really great, but something in my gut tells me I can't trust you. It's your intuition is like your GPS in life. I think it's really important to continue to work on your intuition throughout your life so that you can rely on it in the future, especially in situations where you're just not sure what to do. I'm sure we've all had those situations where everyone else has an opinion and everyone is telling you what to do, and you're listening to those thoughts and those opinions, but you're just so undecided. That is one of those huge situations where you would tap into yourself and listen to yourself and what your answers are. Or check your cards and ask your angels and ask them for clarity or extra guidance. Something else you can do if you have it on hand is to use crystals when you're using the oracle cards, especially crystals that will help either ground you or boost your intuitive abilities. So I like to have black tourmaline because I find it very, very grounding for myself, especially if I'm already a little off-centered or if I feel like there's just too much going on in my head and I'm using the cards to try and help me hone in and focus and calm down. I use black tourmaline to try and bring me kind of back down to earth and out of my head so that I can tap into my intuition and connect to the angels and guides and use the cards to help me in whatever the situation is. Really, really great crystal that I love to use is selenite. I have this one here, and I don't know if you can see it because of the light, but it's amazing for increasing your intuitive abilities. Don't be afraid to, incorporate other things into your, I don't know why I'm calling them sessions, but bring them into your session. And it doesn't have to be something that is specific for boosting intuition. It could just be something that you're feeling really, really drawn to. You could have a question about love and relationships or even self-love and self-compassion. Bring out your bring out your rose quartz. That was a bit of a tongue twister. It doesn't have to be crystals that are specific to building or strengthening your intuition. It can just be something that you're feeling drawn to in that day, in that moment. I know I use the example of your question is about relationships or love or compassion, but it doesn't have to be to use a rose quartz. Maybe you're just really feeling drawn to rose quartz today and your question has nothing to do with it. It could have to do with career or your next house, I don't know. But if you're feeling drawn to the crystal, bring it in. It's totally fine. There are no rules when it comes to connecting to your angels and guides, or to using your intuition, or to using cards. Be sure to check out the description where I have the link to my website, theintuitivewife.com, where you can pick up your free guide to 9 crystals you have to have if you are building your intuition. You can also find on my website questions to ask your oracle cards, which is really great if you're just starting out or if you're feeling a little bit stuck and just need a little boost. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe if you would like to be notified of future videos. And let me know in the comments if you are drawn to a specific crystal every time you connect to your angels and guides or use your cards. Are you always connected to black tourmaline or always want to use selenite? Let me know in the comments. I'm really curious to know. So until my next video, I will see you guys soon. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye guys.